Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. We're starting our front page review with The Nation. Major headline is that the governor of Yobe State is working. Yes, so he has taken over the entire page to show what he has done. But we have other stories.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, right? A lot of buildings.
So a lot of pages.
Oh, interesting. Fantastic. So that you cannot doubt what he has done. Our Tragedies by Mokwa flood victims. Ogun, others mourn with Kano. 22 firms get 16.1 billion naira in first tranche of 75 billion naira relief loan. Then we have how Medipol would crash prices of medicines by party. That's a very interesting story. 1.9 trillion naira oversubscribed to cook cash for refund. So we have money, obviously, because 1.9 trillion got into Sukuk. But who has the party story?
I have, first of all, the flood story.
Oh,
very
yeah,
sad. Yeah, victims of the Mokwa flood had, a lot to say. So one of them said that he went to look for food and came home to meet no home. Said he lost 9 of his children.
Oh my God!
Yes, Isa Daban is an indigene of one of the 3 Mokwa communities in Niger State, and they said the flood was terrible. Another indigene, Musa Ismaila, also described the flood as devastating. He said the building with 80 Almajiri was swept away. Almajiri children were swept away. So a lot of people involved were children. They were just washed away like that. Yeah, both of them, their narrative was really, really touching. They said they came from the 2 of the affected communities. And Daban, where he was talking about his own, he was crying. He said he had to take the reporter to where his house once stood. He said, I do not stay in Mokwa. I usually go and come back every weekend. When I heard about the flood, I rushed home, and this was what I saw. The flood came, and by the time I came back, I met no home. It swept everything away. Said the rain started without notice, which led to a powerful flood that now swept people, houses, families away. Said the damage was very, very devastating. A lot of people were involved, mostly children. And it was just different accounts. There is a Jubrin Alsan who also painted a picture of how his uncle would have to live with the pains of the fact that he had to bury several of his family members, his children, and all of that. And they are just asking for help. Lots of people were breaking down. They had no place to go to. They were trying as much as possible. The youths were trying to rescue a few people, which they did successfully. But it was just so intense that the government has to do something about that particular area. Our hearts go out to all of them that have lost lives of family members, friends, and the children that are in that environment.
What is sad story?
It's very sad. I have this one that says the Nigerian Communication Commission, NCC, has given the e-health facility to Ondo Hospital. And the Nigerian Communication Commission, NCC, has donated and inaugurated the e-health solution to Ondo State-owned specialist hospital to reduce queues at the hospital. Executive Vice Chair, Chief Executive Officer of the NCC, Dr. Aminu Meida, said the facility would revolutionize healthcare systems and services in the hospital. Meida spoke during the inauguration saying that it was an initiative. The initiative was part of the Commission's efforts to harness the power of information and communication technology to improve and revolutionize the sector in a manner that better serves citizens. So this is a good one, at least, if we can get fast track where people go to the hospital. There are so many complaints, but we need to always up our game.
So in the health sector, Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Ali Pate, has explained how Medipol plan will crash prices of medicines and pharmaceuticals. So they said at the weekend, he said procurement of medicines in bulk by the government in a public-private partnership arrangement will reduce the high cost of medicines and consumables. Medipol is an innovative group purchasing organization created to shape our domestic markets by organizing and activating real demand, negotiating competitive pricing, ensuring quality and enabling efficient supply chain management. It will also offer predictable offtake for local manufacturers of essential medicines and healthcare products. The minister also said that the Medipol platform will initially serve Nigerians through the basic supports over 37 million citizens access services in primary health centers across the country. Eventually, Medipol will expand to include federal tertiary hospitals and the private sector. The scheme aligns with broader reforms under the presidential initiative to unlock the healthcare value chain (PVAC), which seeks to boost local production of pharmaceutical products to 70% of domestic production. The scheme will also boost employment in the sector to at least 50,000 full-time jobs from the current estimate of 200,000. And he says these are not theoretical steps or abstract policies. These are concrete actions we're currently implementing. He said that the joint step encouraged international financiers to look towards Nigeria. The European Investment Bank has identified significant opportunities in local medical supplies manufacturing. Afrexim Bank has earmarked at least $1 billion to facilitate supply-side growth in pharmaceuticals, biologics, and essential medical devices in Nigeria. All in all, and there's so much more, but all in all, this sounds like fantastic news, Seems also all-encompassing,
Yeah,
So,
considering that last week we were just asking what he's done, and particularly about, I remember Amaka was talking about the lack of access to some specific drugs. So it's medication. So it's important that there's actually a plan, and it's like Mariam said, it seems very well thought out. So I feel that pharmacies and those that are in this industry of medication should read this policy and see how they can come in.
But what I love mostly, and I would like to highlight, is that he says this is not just theory, because we always say, yes, we hear all the conversations. These are real practical steps.
I noticed that the paper was very, very bulky today. So yes, we have loads and loads and loads and loads of not just adverts, but there is also the, before you say that they did not inform you that your name was in the name of those that are owing ground rents. Let me just let you know. I'm not going to read out the names, but Federal Capital Territory. Can you see how heavy it is?
In the nation, they should
all,
buy the paper.
go and buy it. If you know you have a land in Abuja and you have not visited the land or checked what is going on, before your land will be revoked, go and buy the nation and check your name to know how much you are owing. They wrote the price there. So that you will pay the money
and collect your land,
and you will not lose your land.
I was about to start reeling out.
No. They did not pay me personal money. They did not pay TVC. They paid Nation. If they pay TVC, we'll give them the airtime and reel out all the names for them. Moving on to Vanguard, major headline: Federal government gas-powered vehicle scheme runs into major hitch nationwide, and 785 billion investment is being threatened. Refuel station, conversion centers, other facilities are grossly inadequate. CNG buses, other equipment rot in parking lot. And current pain is temporary, says the Presidential CNG Initiative Committee. Now, 50 killed, 15 parishes shot by armed headers in Makurdi Diocese of Catholic Makurdi Diocese. That's from the Catholic priest, and this is a really sad story. APC primaries, Amechi gives Tinubu dose of his own medicine. That's from Shoyinka. Nigeria, 6 others affected by Saudi Arabia, suspends block work visa. Debt burden, no sin in borrowing. That's from the presidency. Dangote refinery symbolizes hope for Africa. That's from ECOWAS leaders. 2027, Tinubu should not play God. That's from Sule Lamido. WAEC, thugs hired by parents assault vice principal for preventing cheating in Ondo State. And federal government orders employee compensation scheme for civil servants. So please, I'm curious about what happened in Ondo State. Who has the...
Did anyone take that?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but go with your story first.
Saudi Arabia has temporarily suspended issuance of block work visa quota to Nigerians and nationals from 6 other African countries. The other affected countries included Egypt, Algeria, Sudan, Ethiopia, Tunisia, and Morocco. The suspension affected 14 countries in all impacted other nations such as Indonesia, Iraq, Jordan, Yemen, India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. They said the block work visa are quota-based permits that allow Saudi employers to hire predetermined number of foreign workers. And once approved, the quota allows businesses to apply for work visas for specific candidates. Now, the decision announced by the Ministry of Human Resources and Social Development affects new and pending temporary work visa applications. They said the measure formed part of the broader efforts by the kingdom to tighten regulatory oversight across immigration and employment, and will remain in place until the end of June 2025, coinciding with the conclusion of the Hajj season. It said there's no official reason that's been given The freeze also coincides with increased Saudization efforts, which mandated higher employment of Saudi nationals in sectors such as tourism, with quotas to rise between 2026 and 2028. But I wanted to mention how many foreigners that have been working in Saudi. They said the data on employment by the country of citizenship showed that 10,657 Nigerians were employed by Saudi employers during the period. Egypt accounted for one of the highest, with 837,134 Egyptians employed. Sudan had 354,000, Morocco 18,000. Yeah, Ethiopia 16,000, Tunisia 12,000.
Comparison,
and Algeria with only 2,000 migrant workers that have been employed. So they are trying to see how they can reduce their employment. It's also going to be affecting people who haven't been to Saudi, who have been granted visas. They may be restricted from getting into Saudi. They want more of their people in those industries to do that work.
I cannot blame them.
Yeah, it's for their own good
I
as
can't
well.
blame them. Every country must prioritize their
what's
citizens,
best
you
for
know,
them,
and what we're expecting in Nigeria. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we'll continue with Front Page Review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.